Good afternoon, everyone. Tomer Simon from Microsoft. I have a really short time, so I'll run. We know and understand that we need something to change in the education, in the learning, also from the employability and the education system. So I want to start a short historical ride. This is a letter I found yesterday. I was in the Ben-Gurion Research Institute in the Sde Boker Negev, and I just want you to see the date here. It's November 1st, 1901. And I don't know if you can see who is written. I'll say you in English. It's Avigdor Green, the father of David Ben-Gurion, our George Washington, the founder of Israel. And Avigdor Green, his father, sent a letter to Herzl, Theodore Herzl, and he asked for a recommendation on David Ben-Gurion, of David Green. And I just want to show you one text, the importance of learning and skills 120 years ago. So you can see here that he writes a lot of compliments, but my son is studying very hard. He's 15. He knows his Bible or Talmud, never mind, but he knows a lot of languages. He knows Hebrew. It's from Poland, so Hebrew was a very rare language to know at the beginning or the end of the 19th century. He knows the wisdom of math, okay? And his soul desires sciences, and he wants Herzl to write a recommendation letter to him, okay? That he'll be accepted to a university in Vienna. 1948, Ben-Gurion is already the prime minister, and we're in the independence war, and this is from his diary. Ben-Gurion was also he was a visionary, a leader, a strategist, but also a micromanager. And you can see this is the first Excel. So he counted the soldiers. He was the Minister of Defense, and he counted the soldiers, and this is his arithmetic literacy. He used it all through his career and all through his journals. You can see these tables, counting soldiers, counting equipment, counting everything. So this is just a short ride through memory lane. We jump 20 years later. The war of languages in Israel, the process of nation building begins, and we had the war of languages because Israel, a lot of people came from all around the world, as I said, a lot of diversity, from all the European languages, from North Africa, so we had every language here. So the war, So the war of languages, we had two periods of the war of languages. So you can see the main one was 23 to 36, that people spoke here German, English, French, a lot of things, and the Zionist movement wanted everyone to speak Hebrew, okay? You have the one nation, one language, and this was part of the leadership, part of the nation building. They had also the battalions, the protectors of the Hebrew language in the state of Israel, and they pushed Hebrew very, very hard in all the universities, in all schools, K-12 and higher education. Moving on, we can see that during the 20th century, the literacy rate around the world was very high. It's called the 3 R's, the reading, writing, and arithmetics. This is the basic literacy. And we see today that it's very high globally. We can see the reading levels by country. You can see a few countries, but you can see that from the 19th century, we have a jump in arithmetic, but usually it was high because basic math. And then things changed. We started the 20th century very, very slow, reading, writing, the first industrial revolution, but a lot of things changed. And mainly from 1985, 1990, the internet, and we started this exponential world and exponential economy, and you know all these acceleration that we speak about, all the technologies, and we know that something is wrong. We cannot keep learning for the first industrial revolution during the fourth industrial revolution, okay? You can see that employability is at risk. As Microsoft also, these are just numbers from around the world, but 50 million people are needed to fill technical jobs already, and this is in the coming decade. 800 million are missing this year, okay? In the next year, and 40% of employers are already reporting that the skills are in shortage, okay? This is from the latest OECD Future of Work, the 2019. It was published, I think, 3 weeks ago. You can see that the people with the middle skills are at the highest risk of losing their jobs, okay? High skills are irrelevant, and this is the polarization of the workforce that will happen during the fourth industrial revolution. But you can see the people with the middle skills are the one with the highest risk. And I want to show just the state of Israel, not the current state here, about the discussion. So, and this is just from the last month. So the academy is talking about it. This was from the labor law direction. What are the changes that are occurring now in the workforce? The unions are talking and working on it. For the first time, unions are addressing the future of work and the shortage of skills and how to protect workers. The employers are working on it. So this is a new program. There was also a different separate session here about outside that the Israeli US Chamber of Commerce is leading at the future of employability and how do we address the shortage of skills and learning in Israel. And also this conference is talking about it. So a lot of discussion, but you can understand already who is missing out of this discussion. And this is in Hebrew, but you can write at least the numbers. The OECD, you can see that 28 out of 34 reading skills. In mathematics, 29 out of 34. And digital literacy, 24 out of 29. So the situation here is not that good, but this is when we measure it for the first industrial revolution, not for the fourth industrial revolution. You can see that a lot of startups are trying to hack the system, using teachers, using schools, but this is the bottom-up approach, the grassroots approach that also Microsoft and other companies, they have these teacher influencers to drive change through the classroom, but this is the bottom-up approach. Even you can see this is just a comprehensive Microsoft approach that you can see, because we don't have a lot of time, but employability progression from K1 till the career. So for every age, what's the curiosity, creation, connection, competency, and capability, how to really create the life cycle of learning throughout the life cycle. And if you remember this movie, the World War Z, that the world reunited and each nation fought to fight zombies, I think we should now start this World War D. How we combine and really address this issue, because if we look, also the US, and this is a policy letter from this one, the Governance Leadership Foundation said that the only way to address this situation is top-down, the state. It's not the federal state, the states by themselves, the government, and you can see that also the US has dropped and declined on every measure almost in these steps. The government's role, if we look forward, how to create the job center of the future, how can they lead and protect the employees or at least address the career, streamlining the citizen experience, improve financial sustainability. There are a lot of measures to address it, not unfortunately for time, and advanced decision support, so address the predictions, like the Taub research or other things, but on a government level. And currently, if we look, the government not found, okay? We have here all the elements, but there is no top-down strategy for the government that they understand that the education systems must change all through K-12 and higher education. And if we look, so can we have really a national paradigm change when the nation is missing out of this discussion? And this is something that is open. I'm a member in 3 governmental committees, but again, the government itself, the officials, and as a policy and strategy is missing. So can we really change the things bottom up? Thank you very much.